Hey guys, welcome back to the Travel Royally podcast. Today we have some members from the Machrihanish Golf Club team. Jeff is going to really appreciate this because this was his second round he ever played. He's known to have, the best opening hole in golf, so really excited to talk with him today. Thank you so much for joining.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Travel Royally podcast. Today, we're very excited to have with us three guests from Machrihanish. But before I introduce them, I want to tell you a little bit about Machrihanish. Machrihanish is a course that I first encountered 26 years ago on my first trip to Scotland. It was the second course that my father and I ever played, second round of links golf, too, and we fell in love. So Machrihanish, it's a remarkable links. It's located not too far from Campbelltown on the Mull of Kintyre. It's noted for having the best opening hole in Scotland, and I would say arguably the best in the world. Machrihanish is ranked number 19 in Scotland and number 44 on the list for Great Britain and Ireland. And the one thing I'll tell you about Machrihanish is that it's always fun to play golf there, even on a day like today. So where it's quite rainy. So today for Machrihanish, we're joined by their head pro, Jenny Dunn, club captain John Thompson, and head greenkeeper Craig Barr. Jenny, John, and Craig, welcome to the Travel Royally podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Was that a decent enough introduction?
Yeah.
That'll work? Okay. Well, I like to start at the beginning because I think it's fascinating to hear how people came to golf. So, Jenny, how did you come to golf in the first place?
So my dad's a PGA professional as well, and so is my younger brother. And my mum ran the pro shop for about 25 years. So I literally grew up on a golf course every day. So
now you sound Scottish, but in looking at your bio, it looks like you spent some time in Germany.
I'm actually from Liverpool.
Ah.
So I might have a bit of a Scottish twang, but I don't know. But no, I'm from Liverpool, and I grew up because my dad, we were over in Germany. My dad was the head pro over in Germany, so we were over there for about 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a Scouse.
I'm a Scouser.
Are you an Everton or a Liverpool fan?
Liverpool.
They have a big match tomorrow, right? Or is it? Yeah, or not tomorrow. I'm thinking it's Friday. On Saturday against Man City.
Yeah.
Okay, well, very cool. We're glad you're here. And Craig, how about you? How'd you come to golf?
Well, I started here when I was 14, actually, on the Machrihanish. I did my work experience from school here. So that was when I started being here on and off since then. Last however many years. It played on from there. I got a summer job in the golf course the first couple of years, and then I went on an apprenticeship after that. So been here a long time, on and off, as I say.
Well, we're glad to have you. And John, my condolences for accepting the job of club captain. That's a thankless job, I know.
Oh, well, thanks very much for your condolences.
So how did you come to golf, John?
Well, I was a late bloomer into the golfing scene. I worked all my days in my own business. My own business there for 35 years now, and every day I worked 7 days a week for years. And I realised 12 years ago, all my mates, all my friends, all golfed. I thought to myself, I'm approaching retirement age. I'm not wanting to be missing out. I'd be sitting in the 19th hole waiting for them coming off the previous 18 holes. So I decided to take up golf. So I haven't really looked back, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I found myself, whatever I've done in life, I found myself happy this year. So certainly, it's interesting, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some interesting things have happened at the club, and we'll get into that. But John, if you would, tell us a little bit about Machrihanish as a club.
Machrihanish is a club. It's a member-owned club, which means that no individual or company can any say in the club. We have currently every full-time member has voting rights. So everybody's basically got a share. This moment in time, we have 362 voting members. So they kind of tend to be the guardians. Every member's a guardian in the club, basically. So
Yeah.
they have a say in it. Every year we appoint a new captain, and he does his year as the captaincy, and he stands off. The committee members, they'll serve a 3-year term. So we've got 10 committee members, so that keeps us in good stead. But we're an open club. We're open to any suggestions that come from members, and we're a friendly club as well. You know, yourself. You've been here. You've experienced it, and it's lovely for the area. What an area! What a setting we've got here. But like most clubs, we've our constitution, code of conduct, local rules, which all members and visitors alike are expected to follow. But at the end of the day, we're just looking for members, visitors alike, to really come here and enjoy themselves and have a wonderful round of golf.
Well, you've got, and by the way, I should have mentioned that the first hole is behind me. It's a beautiful shot on a day that's probably nicer than the one you're experiencing today. But, 360 members isn't that, most clubs have a lot more than that. And I know that you're in a remote part of Scotland, but you get a lot of visitor rounds, and I'm guessing you have a fair number of overseas members.
Yes. The overseas members, in total, we are basically at 851 golfing members.
Wow.
And we've got approximately 400 social members. There's different categories. We've got associate members, country members, life members, honorary members, junior members.
But they have no right.
They don't have the voting rights.
Yeah.
Because they're a full paying member.
Yeah.
As a full paying member, you must have the postcode where we stay. You would call it a zip code in America. It's a postcode, and you must have that postcode to have a full voting member.
Yeah.
Member.
Is Jim Hartzell still a member?
He's a member of Dunavity.
But he was at Machrihanish for quite a while. I know he's got a great affinity and fondness for Machrihanish as well, though.
He was here this year. He played here this year.
Yeah. We've had him on the podcast. I don't know if you read his most recent book, but it's fantastic.
We have it here.
We have it here in the club.
Yeah, it's a fantastic book. So you've told me about the club. Now, Craig, if you would, tell us, you know the course better than anyone. You know every square inch of it. Tell us about the course.
Well, I mean, it's, as you said before, it's best known for the first hole. I've been what's Machrihanish for, but it's a traditional 9-in, 9-out course. And lost it.
Craig, to be fair, it gets a lot of attention for the first hole, but there are a lot of great holes at Machrihanish. What would you say other than number one? What's the best hole in your opinion?
I would have said third.
The third, when you come over the hill at the start of the fairway, the third, and you see down there, you get a look out over the whole area pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have said the third.
I like that.
Just see the green and then the water kind of behind it is like scenic wise. I suppose that is the nicest hole. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I remember the day that we played there. There was a very strong wind coming off the water, and we didn't have a caddy. It was windy. It was rainy. It was probably not too different from today for you guys. And I hit a fade, like most amateurs, I guess, Jenny, right? That's our dilemma. But I swear to God, this is true. I hit my ball 50 yards out over the ocean, and it just floated and dropped in the middle of the fairway. And I remember laughing, and I was saying, how much could golf be any more fun than this? Right? I mean, where else can you? I mean, I swear to God, that's a true story. I hit it 50 yards into the ocean, and it just like a seagull flew just and then just dropped right into the middle of the fairway. And that was the last highlight of the day for me at Machrihanish.
I see a lot of those shots from the shop window.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of Americans, they think that golf is about scoring. And what I've come to understand is that golf is about fun.
Yeah.
And last year, we had some friends over and we played at Cullen. which is a quirky, if you haven't played it, it's very quirky. We got there before it opened on a Sunday morning, and we had a tee time at 10 at like 9:20 or whatever. The clubhouse didn't open till 10, so we couldn't get push carts and scorecards or a course map or guide or anything. So we emptied our bag down to 6 clubs, and we played a 6-club challenge as a 5-some because there was no one out there. And it was the most fun I'd had in years playing golf. No one cared what the score was. You're hitting. And then we played at Fort Rose and Rosemarkie, which was just a lot of fun as well. And I don't remember what I shot, but I do remember how much fun I had. And so the one thing I can guarantee people that visit Machrihanish is that they're going to have fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jenny, for people that are unfamiliar with where you are in Scotland, tell them where Machrihanish is located.
So we're on a peninsula, just on the west coast of Scotland. So it's about a 3 to 3.5 hour drive from Glasgow, but it's a really scenic drive as well around all the lochs. And there's also a flight that comes in from Glasgow, which only takes about half an hour. But yeah,
Plus ferries. You have ferries.
and we have ferries as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my father and I took the ferry over. But
Which on a calm day, yeah, it's quite nice. But on a choppy day, I wouldn't like to do it.
well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you when we knew how serious the weather could be there. When we got on the first ferry with our car, you load into the hull of the boat, and then this big door comes down and locks like a vault, right? And you're like, and you're thinking they must experience that, you know, they're obviously presenting about this thing getting sunk by waves because in Seattle, I used to live in Seattle, and there's a great ferry system there with cars, but the cars are on top of the boat, and they don't get the weather that you get. So they're not concerned about storing cars in vaults and so forth. And you guys aren't far from Ireland. How is it? What, 20 miles over to Ireland?
Approximately 14 miles at the shortest point.
On a nice day, you can actually see across.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay. Well, you know, we talked about Machrihanish, it's got a wonderful history. Unlike a lot of clubs or every club in the U.S., right? Most of them were built in the 1900s or 20th or 21st century. But you guys were founded in 1876 as the Kintyre Golf Club. And interestingly, the course was laid out by the pro at Prestwick, a guy named Charles Hunter. 3 years later, in 1879, old Tom came by and put his stamp on it. And then the club formally changed its name, I think, in 1888. But John, what makes Machrihanish so special from your perspective?
Well, I think anyone who lives here or visits Machrihanish will have their own reasons for thinking it's a special place. Personally, after playing golf courses abroad and at home here, one place that I love, and it's Machrihanish. The scenery is stunning. On a beautiful day, the scenery is stunning. But there's never 2 days the same. You can have the 4 seasons in the one day, and people are just amazed at the golf sunshine. At the second hole, and they're putting on their waterproof. At the third hole, they're taking off their water. It's just, the scenery is amazing. Beautiful sunsets at night. It's
Special place.
It's God's wee corner of earth we all love here. That's what we find. And visitors alike, they come here and they also tell us you have no idea what you've got. It's here on our doorstep. And we take it for granted. Still love the place 100%. And it's just, we don't want to change it much. It's totally a two-linked course.
Absolutely.
We're going up the shoreline. With 8 holes following the shoreline, working from south to north and back in again. But it's just beautiful. The summer, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And what daylight to 11 o'clock at night, then it's light again at 4 or 5 in the morning. only got about 5 hours of darkness at night. So you get
Yeah.
the late goers in the golf course, you get the early risers, and they're out there at the crack of dawn looking for a round of golf. But it's a stunning scenery. We're spoiled, really.
Yeah.
Spoiled.
John, I'm going to tell Hayden to put subtitles when you talk so Americans can understand your accent.
Well, actually, in the chat with the secretary and the office manager, they'll need subtitles when I speak.
Yeah.
They probably won't understand. I talk kind of fast.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I've got a keen ear, I think, for listening to people from Scotland. It typically it's not an issue, but one of the things I wanted to hit on that you talked about, John, that I think is important is that it is a true natural links built by hand, basically, right? When you think about a lot of the courses that have been built recently on links land, they use a lot of earth moving equipment still. I know Machrihanish Dunes wasn't that way. I know it's in a very natural setting. But when you think about what they did at Kingsbarns and Cabot Highlands, which used to be Castle Stewart, and Trump International, they moved a lot of earth and Dumbarnie as well. And you guys are completely natural. And there are occasions, as a matter of fact, we had some new clients that booked with us earlier this week, and they want to play old links courses. They don't want to play the new ones. And I think I've got great respect for both, but I think that's one of the allures to the old course at St. Andrews, right? That idea that every great golfer who's ever lived has walked across the bridge and strode down the first fairway and had to deal with, every hole on there, including the road hole. And there's something that's very neat about playing at your club where old Tom walked the grounds, and, you've had so many great people play there, and golf's been played there for nearly 150 years.
It's closing in on it.
I'm guessing you'll have a book commemorating that, like every.
We're actually.
It's in discussions now.
It's in discussion. I'll discuss that in the agenda when we get to the agenda. What we've got kind of planned.
Okay. Well, let's move on, because I want to get a better understanding of what all of you do. So, Jenny, you've got to be, first of all, I want to say congratulations. We talked about this. There aren't a lot of women head professionals in Scotland. How many are there? Do you know?
I don't really know. I mean, because I grew up in Germany, I did my PGA training over in Germany and then joined the British PGA when I moved over here. So all the British professionals that I know are over in Germany. So I don't really know that many over here. But yeah, I don't think there's that many lady head professionals.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a connection between us. At my club, Murray, they had the first female professional. I want to say the year was 1919.
Really?
And I believe her name was Meg Urquhart. And they're noted for that. And it's been part of our history. And it's always been a very welcoming club for women and women professionals. So what's your primary role there as the club professional?
So I take all of the golf bookings. So in the winter time I set up the whole diary, take all the bookings, set up all the members competitions, and then in the summertime it's more we still get bookings obviously in the summer, but in the summer it's more the members competitions, just welcoming visitors when they come to the pro shop. So it's more the winter and summer they are completely different, the things that I do.
Do you have an indoor hitting bay where you can still give lessons in the winter?
Yeah, I prefer to still give lessons outside. If it's possible, if it's not like 40, 50 mile an hour wind.
A lovely day like this.
If somebody wants a lesson, I would be out there. But we have a really big junior section in the club as well. So I do, in the summertime, I do weekly coaching, And I have about 50 to 60 juniors that come every week. And then in the winter time, I do it once a month just because of the weather. I just don't want them to come every single weekend and the weather's really bad. And even for the winter one, I've got about 50 kids signed up for that. So we do a lot of things with the juniors.
Excellent. Well, I've got a question for you. When are we going to get some decent professionals out of Scotland? And I'm being somewhat facetious. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Scottish golf, obviously, and I follow some of the Scottish pros. But in a country with more golf courses per capita than any country in the world, and being the birthplace of golf, and Robert McIntyre is probably the highest ranked Scottish golfer right now. And there hasn't been one to win a major since Paul Lowry, and that's 24 years ago. Yeah. I think he won the 99 Open, and before that it was Sandy Lyle. I'm just surprised that there aren't more great professionals. And let me say one more thing. My experience is that the clubs over there, compared to our clubs over here, have more very good golfers that are at or near scratch, but there don't seem to be many pros coming out of Scotland.
Yeah, I don't really.
No, and Bob only stays about 90 miles away from where we stay. So
yeah,
it's just up close, basically. But,
so Jenny, I have an idea on how we can overcome this. Do you think John's ready for the senior tour?
I've been too old for it.
I'll pass on that question.
Well, John, while we're on you, you've got a relatively new clubhouse. Can you tell us about the new clubhouse and what unfortunately precipitated the building of a new clubhouse?
Unfortunately, back in 2018 December, with a bad fire that devastated the old clubhouse. Started in the roof space. So firefighters that was on site, they found it hard to track where the hotspots was and whatever. They knew they weren't going to save the place. They managed to save all the trophies, memorabilia, pictures and that. They managed to get most of the stuff out we needed. And hats off to them for doing that for us. So this basically brought us in basically a new start, clean page, what we could do, what design we wanted, and we come up with the design we've got for a one-story building into a two-story building. And to bring before we'd done separate ladies' clubhouse, so we brought the ladies into the main clubhouse as well. So they've got a locker room, juniors have a locker room, the gents' locker room. We've also got a swing room in as well. So it's really, at the design stage, we've got a lot of thought into it. The whole front of the new clubhouse, first level, it's totally glass along the whole front. Panoramic view, the whole front of the clubhouse, looking over the course and over the Bay of Machrihanish. We've also two balconies, an east and a west balcony that you can sit on or go out and take photos. And it's really lovely.
Yeah.
Summer settings that you can sit out there, enjoy a sunset, enjoy a nice refreshment, enjoy a nice meal. It's really, I'd like to say it's a kind of blessing in disguise, this fire. We kind of want to watch with this fire.
Yeah.
We wanted it, but it happened. But we're here, this is what we've got, and it's a beautiful, beautiful build.
Yeah.
It's a stunning location where you could throw a stone at the first tee. The first tee is sitting about 50 yards away from the clubhouse.
Yeah.
That first tee that if you can learn golf, if you aim for the ocean, it's every chance in a day like this, it'll bring you onto the first fairway. You've probably experienced that yourself.
Yeah.
No, we're delighted with the clubhouse.
How many, I think that one of the things, I've been to a number of courses or clubs lately, and what's happening is they're building new clubhouses. So Dunbar is in the process of, I think they've gotten approval to build a new clubhouse, and they've got one that was, in my mind, very similar to your old clubhouse, as I recall. West Cornwall down in Southwest England is getting a new clubhouse. I recently played there. And again, it's reminiscent of your old clubhouse as well. And so, those are, for me, it's kind of, I've got mixed feelings. On one level, I love the quaintness of the old clubhouses. On the other hand, I know a lot of American visitors love the amenities that you've created, like an east and west balcony and an all glass front and a stone's throw from the first tee and proper locker rooms. And, the women's locker rooms are now in the clubhouse as well. I mean, but which brings me to the question, how many visitor rounds do you get a year?
Oh, how many was that?
There's three.
Yeah, just over 3.5. I think about 3,500 it was.
So visitors pay more of your income than your members, I would guess.
It's
Close?
Let me just work it
I've got
out.
the figures. I've got the figures for the members. I don't have the figures for the.
It'll not.
Yeah, so it's around about, it's similar.
It's
Yeah.
not too far away. Yes.
So in other words, I helped build your clubhouse.
Yes, he certainly did.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, the insurance company was very kind.
Well, I think it's interesting because clubs over here don't get a lot of visitors typically, right? Our clubs are private. So you just can't walk up and play or call up and play. Sometimes they'll give you reciprocal arrangements where you have to pay. Well, what they'll do is, let's say my father grew up playing a Donald Ross course in Cincinnati called Machrihanish, and I took him there once. And in order to get on, I had to be a member at another private club. And then I couldn't use money there. Whatever I spent, they billed back to my club, and it showed up on my club bill. Yeah, so the number of clubs won't take cash. They just bill the members. When I play Eastlake, I have a friend that's a member there. I think they recently changed it where you can pay in the clubhouse, but in the past, you couldn't pay for greens fees. You couldn't pay for merchandise. It all went to the member's account, but they've changed that recently. But my point is, when you think about you guys, you said it's nearly 50-50 visitor income versus member income. Can you imagine Royal Troon or Carnoustie? I mean, the visitor income must dwarf whatever the members pay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, I mean, because a 2-ball at Carnoustie would be an annual subscription for one member.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in round numbers, maybe it's 2.5, but you're paying £300. So maybe it's £900 to be a member at one of the clubs at Carnoustie but it's not like here in the States. I've got a friend that's a member of a club. I won't name it, but he paid $100,000 to be a member and $1,500 a month in annual dues. And when they redo the course or build a new clubhouse, you get an assessment for $5 to $10 grand.
Gosh.
Now courses like that are maintained like very close to like Augusta. I mean, nothing's maintained like Augusta, but other than Machrihanish, right, Craig?
Of course,
Yes.
But anyway, well, Craig, I know that you've played golf around Scotland, and there's a special place in your heart, I would guess, for Machrihanish because you've not only played it so often, but you've walked it and mowed it. And what makes it so special to you?
I don't know. I think just because my house where I stayed just actually along the beach from the course itself. So
Yeah.
I was always in the area, and as I say, like I've never really played golf when I was younger. I just randomly came here from a work experience from school, which was the first time I'd been near a golf course really.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the work I was doing then, so I'd say that led on to doing a summer-time job and then apprenticeship, and I've been stuck ever since. I really enjoyed the work I was doing.
Yeah.
As you say, what a place to work. When you get good weather like this, you couldn't really ask for anything better.
Yeah. Do you get, while you're out mowing, do you ever get like visitors to stop you and comment on the course, tell you what they like, or?
Quite often, most
Yeah.
days you meet folk and you always speak away to a lot of the visitors and stuff. Everybody's always really pretty complimentary about things.
Yeah.
There's the only ones that have some things to say, but
Yeah. But the head greenkeeper at Murray is a guy named Kevin Thompson. And he's an amazing greenkeeper where until recently, we didn't have a full irrigation system. And in the winter, or excuse me, in the summer, several years back, the fairways got so burnt out, they didn't know whether they'd come back. You know, it took a lot of trial and error, but they're back and better than ever now. And we do have an irrigation system. So let me ask this, Craig, you deal with a Seaside Links. You know, what unique challenges do you have taking care of a Seaside Links?
I think the hardest part of it is trying to plan anything, because you don't, as John says earlier on, the weather can change 4 seasons in a day. So you think you've got a plan for the week ahead, and that can change in a matter of hours. So kind of just go with it and do what comes with the weather, pretty much work around the weather.
Yeah. Or do you deal with any? Are there any erosion issues there?
It's not too bad. Down the first fairway, there's been a bit in winter time, but it's not actually that bad down there. The odd time there's a high tide and you get a bit of seaweed and stuff up the first fairway and things. But apart from that, I mean, the rest of the course is well enough away from the beach line itself, so you don't really have to worry about erosion there.
Yeah, you know, it's been a difficult last couple of years. I understand that Montrose over on the other coast is suffering from severe erosion on a number of its holes, and Carnoustie's been flooded several times this year.
Yeah.
And had to close for days, which on two levels is interesting. One, that they're flooding multiple times in a year, and two, that a course can come back so quickly after being flooded, like literally seeing it under seawater. It doesn't kill the grass, or I mean, I don't know how they get the course back in shape.
That landslides there. I drove past the O'Malley golf course, and all you could see was the sea and flags sticking out of the water, pretty much.
Wow.
Well, just a few weeks later, you would hardly even know there was anything wrong with the place.
Yeah.
Able to much untake like that.
Well, Craig, do you have any special projects planned over the winter for the course?
We've not got anything too big this year. We're kind of trying to upgrade the practice facility, building a new tee for that, and we've just been the usual winter work, building bunkers, tidying up areas that kind of worn out through the summertime and stuff. I think we've got 7 or 8 bunkers built already. So
Excellent.
They're nearly done, so we'll go on the next stage and get another few dug out and start again.
When you do that bunker work, Craig, are you simply, you know, redoing the revetted face, or are you reshaping them at all?
Yeah, we don't really change the shape much. There's the odd ones we'll try and maybe contour in greenkeeper's bits, trying to make the ball roll into some of them just to be more nasty to golfers, but it's all we always try and kind of work out what we think would be best for playing golf. And,
Yeah.
you know, so we don't change a lot of the shapes and stuff, but it's mostly just rebuilding to build. The faces get worn out. You replace a bunker every 3 to 4 years or so. Try and kind of keep on a way, get every bunker rebuilt again within 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Jenny, the good news is that when visitors come over, you're the face that they're going to see, and not John or Craig. That's the good news. But you're literally going to be the first person typically that they would see, right? They walk into the pro shop and they're going to see you. So what can North Americans expect when they come to Machrihanish?
But I think most of it's already been kind of mentioned. The amazing scenery here, the kind of natural links course, and the people, the nice, the friendly members. And I mean, I know a few members that if they see visitors out on the course, they'll start chatting to them and stuff like that. So it's most of the things I think John's already mentioned with the amazing scenery and the natural links course, really.
Yeah.
Cool
Yeah,
friend.
I think what I have experienced now, again, it's been 25 years since I've been over there, but I was astounded at how friendly everybody was at the club. And then I remember when we finished the round, we walked across the street and there was a restaurant or a yeah, there was a restaurant there, and it was a very cold, wet, windy day, and we had soup, a pint of Tennent's, and some brown bread, and we were well recovered immediately following that. But I think the friendliness of the people is one of the things I would say people would expect, or not expect, but what they would receive there. So
We just want the visitors to come, have a serious round of golf, and enjoying round of golf. Have fun as well. Have a bit of serious, but have fun as well.
Yeah.
That's what the course will bring you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's one of them. Just an enjoyment challenge. But at the end of the day, golf's about having fun.
No matter what the weather, because I mean, I see a lot of Americans that come over and play, and like weather like today as well. But you come all that way, and you're only here that one day. You have to really go and play golf. But a lot of them then say, "Oh no, this is what we've come for. We want to experience the proper Scottish links course and the Scottish weather." So they actually want that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was in Scotland. Well, when you and I met, Jenny, that was like a month ago, and we had played. Did you play golf those 2 days at the beginning of
You were only there for the meetings, yeah.
Yeah, and John, you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I was there as well.
Yeah, I remember that. So, we played Prestwick on Monday, Dumbarton on Tuesday, but before playing Dumbarton, 11 of us got to go out the back door and play the old course, 17 and 18, which was really cool. And I got to play with 2 Irish people who'd never been on the course before. So here's an American acting as caddy, because I played it a number of times. So hit it here, hit it there. But we had a tee time on Saturday. I got a tee time at the old course through a friend of mine that has a links ticket, and the forecast was for rain, so we didn't play.
Oh.
Right, and then it turns out to be a really good day.
Yeah,
Right, and anyway, it was a unanimous choice. The 4 of us all decided not to play. But Jenny, when people are in that part of Scotland, what can they do off the course? What things are there to see or do off the course?
Really, this area here would be, if you're not playing golf, you'd probably be visiting a whiskey distillery. So we've got three distilleries here already. There's 2 new ones that are gonna open up, and we've got 1 gin distillery as well. So that's what usually gets done, kind of golf, or you do both, play golf and then go and visit a whiskey distillery.
Or visit the flask in your bag on a cold day, I suppose.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. So, John, what's next on the club's agenda?
Next in the club agenda, here we go, is you well know we're currently on our 147th year as a club. 2026 brings our 150th anniversary. We're creating a subcommittee to start working on how we're going to commemorate this milestone. We've had offers in from other clubs, even as far as Australia, that want to come over here and have a small competition to commemorate the club. Some of them as members here.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of members spread throughout the world, and a lot of them speaking about this 150th. So hopefully we'll get a few of them coming over to commemorate this. there'll probably be a big party at some point.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
Scottish, but as I say, it's a few years ahead, but we've really got to start planning it now.
Yeah.
So we're setting up, currently at this moment, we're setting up a subcommittee of 3 or 4 guys. And because the committee moves on, they'll be moving with it. Just keeping in touch with the captain, organised. Also, the old ladies' clubhouse, we're converting that into accommodation. We're just about through the planning stage, paperwork stage with the local authority. And that's going to create 4 rooms, all en suite. You can sleep 2 in each room, twin beds or double bed. So we're looking forward to getting that moving along soon. We're hoping to get it this year, but bureaucracy seems to hold things up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's funny when you said that. You said old ladies.
Yes, I don't know. I'm actually meaning the building.
Yeah, so I guess there's a double entendre. It's a clubhouse for old ladies. Is it a clubhouse for old ladies, or was it the?
Well, no, they've the old ladies has come into the new clubhouse.
When I came for my interview, the old sign was still up on the ladies' clubhouse, and it said ladies' clubhouse on it. And I was coming for my interview, and I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to get a job here if there's a separate clubhouse for the ladies, and I'm not allowed in the main building. But then I later found out it was just an old sign that was still.
This building's well over 100 years old as well, but we're not changing it much. We're going to keep the frontage all the same, so it'll still be looking part of Machrihanish Golf Club.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to get that going. It means you're basically you're not staying physically on it, but you're staying within 30 yards of the new clubhouse.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Which will appeal to a lot of visitors. So, and it'll generate income for the club as well, which we're a non-profit making club. So it means if we can generate money, we start putting more money onto the course, new machinery for Craig to get on with it. Hopefully keep our ratings up in the Scottish golf, the world golf, just keep us up there, let everybody know we're still here. If we can stay in these positions, we'll be quite happy and even improve. Well, that's looking forward. That's what we're feeling to get.
Well, I'll tell you, Craig doesn't need all that modern equipment. When old Tom was made keeper of the green at St. Andrews, he was given a wheelbarrow, a spade, and a barrel of sand, I think. And somehow he turned that into.
I wish we could go back to that.
I know, I need as much modern equipment.
No, I think that's fantastic. Jenny, what other courses do you recommend in the area?
Dunavity, the Dunes, and probably the Machrihanish as well, although you do have to get a ferry over to the Machrihanish. But those, that would be kind of like the package thing. So our course, Machrihanish, the Dunes, Dunavity, and the Machrihanish. So those, and I mean Dunavity on a nice day, the views are absolutely spectacular. They're so nice.
I haven't played there, and I truthfully I hadn't heard of it until several years ago when I'm trying to remember. I mean, I know it was through Jim Hartzell that I came to understand how great Dunavity was, but we're going to have David Foley from the Machrihanish on the podcast in 2 weeks, I think. So, we try to drop one podcast a week. The other thing I wanted to ask you, well, 2 things that come to mind. John, one of the things I'd like to be able to do is if we send a group there, it'd be great to say, hey, and after the round, we'll have our arrange a lunch with the captain, right? Where you could talk about, kind of like you did today, talk about the club or maybe we should have Craig, someone they can understand.
No, Jeff, I know where you're coming from. It's nice. No, we're also open to anything like that in any request. Currently, my captaincy runs the end a match.
Yeah.
So if they're over soon, they would get a lunch with me. And I'm quite sure the future captain, my vice at the moment, Mr. Barry Covell, he'd be quite keen. He'll be about. And it was my vice captain. He currently he's got the company that built the of the new club.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you'll be chairman emeritus. We could, and I've never known a Scotsman to turn down a free lunch and beer or a wee dram, so I know you'll show up for that.
If I thought I had to pay for it, now it's free.
Well, in all seriousness, we try to give our guests kind of unique experiences, things that they wouldn't, so, we've set up Ryder Cup matches where we say, like, and I probably could do that through Jenny, where I say, hey, we've got 4 guys coming over. Can you get 4 members that want to play that day? And we'll buy them dinner after the round, or we'll trade club ties or something like that. But unique experiences like that are really fun.
And it's the visitors gain a bit of experience for the locals going out with them as well. You know, it's like going out with a caddie. The course here, it's position and order. You're trying to get your ball into that position to make the second shot a bit easier.
Yeah.
There's such a thing as an easy second shot, I don't know. But no, that sounds good. We want everybody to have a great experience. And if it means getting up small things like that, matches, that's fine with us.
And then the other thing I was going to bring up, Jenny, that I missed was that, I talked about how at our club at Murray, we've got, the first female professional in Scotland was there. And my kids played a lot of competitive sports, my girls, and I've got a special place in my heart for women's athletics in general. And my instructor is a woman who was on the LPGA tour for 7 years. And she does very well, but I know there are men who think I'm not taking lessons from a woman, right? And I hope you don't have that issue there, because I think my pro, Angela Ormsby, is just she's so good. I don't know how people don't go to her, to be honest with you. Someone that played competitive golf for 7 years.
Yeah.
She played in 3 Open championships over there. She's led the LPGA 1 year in sand saves. I mean, who would I want teaching me how to get out of a bunker or to get a competitive mindset? Or, I mean, her swing. I'll tell you a story. She and her husband, who's a golf professional, we played 9-hole matches. He and a student, and her and I. And we won both times. And I never, and this is the truth, in 18 holes that I played with her, she never missed a fairway or a green. Not once. Right? I mean, it was like watching a surgeon with a golf club. You're like, how does she do this? And I said, how are you not still on the tour? And she said, have you seen me putt? And I said, I've never seen you hit a bad putt. She goes, have you ever seen me hit a good putt? And she said, I'll two putt all day long, but you can't stay on the LPGA tour making pars. You gotta. Her thing was, my speed is perfect typically, but I can't read the green. I don't. She goes, She goes, by amateur standards, I'm a good putter. By professional standards, in the second 100, you just can't stay out on the tour putting like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I shouldn't have taken all your time with that. So, actually, I'm going to ask all 3 of you this last question. So we have most of our people that come over are playing links golf for the first time. So when they come to Machrihanish and they're playing links golf for the first time, what advice do you have for them? Craig, let's start with you. What advice would you have for someone? They're playing Machrihanish and links golf for the first time.
I don't know. Take a caddy, an umbrella, shorts, t-shirt, waterproofs.
Take a caddy.
Take a caddy. Okay, so what you're saying is take a caddy and be prepared for any kind of weather. You don't know what's going to hit you.
Yeah.
We're going to save the best for last. So, John, what would you say?
Not me as a caddy.
Yeah.
Just come and enjoy it. Enjoy it. Especially if you play it once, you'll want to play it again.
Yeah.
We want that feeling to come back in, come off the course, get into the pro shop, speak to Jenny, and she said, "I've had a wonderful time there. That course maybe kicked my ass, but I'll be back out there."
Yeah. Yeah.
Courses, so it's just basically enjoy it. Just come and enjoy it. A caddies, especially the first time, even if it's one caddy for a group of 4 golfers, at least it's a bit of knowledge.
Right.
It's course knowledge.
That's a great recommendation because your caddies aren't professionals; they're local members, right?
Yeah, they're all members.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I the first time I played door knock, and again, this was with my dad 26 years ago. We had a local member as a caddy. His name was Pipey. Apparently, because he was always smoking a pipe, and I think that was his, or maybe it was a cigarette, but they called him Pipey. And later we found out he was like a 7-time club champion. And he's lugging the bags of, a couple of hacks like us. It's just got to be. Anyway. Jenny, how about you? What would what would your advice be?
I would say always take your waterproofs out with you, whether it's summer or not, but always have them to hand. And you need to learn how to hit low shots. Because it's always going to be, there's always going to be wind. So you need to learn how to hit kind of like slow, punchy shots. So yeah, those are the 2 things: waterproofs and low shots.
Okay, excellent. We could even arrange a pre-game lesson with you, right? Like teaching them how to hit those shots, right? I'm just thinking of ways to generate more revenue for Machrihanish. Load up on golf balls in the pro shop. Load up on golf balls in the pro shop. Exactly. Buy your waterproofs there.
I've got waterproofs in the shop.
Well, guys, hey, it's been great fun. Thank you all so much for investing an hour of your time with us today. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that I hope we inspire a lot of people to go over and play with such a friendly group of people like the 3 of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Hayden, Machrihanish Golf Club would like to thank you for inviting us on to your podcast here. So thanks very much.
Hey, it's been my pleasure. Have a wonderful wet day over there.
Well.
Thank you so much again for tuning in. I really hope you appreciated what they had to say and learning more about the golf club in Machrihanish. If you enjoyed it, please like and share the video and subscribe to know when the next video comes out. See you next time.